everybody, I'm Luke, and this is Roman, and I'm Luke, and today's topic
I'm also Roman.
You kind of interrupted this, whole little intro thing I had going on here.
But you said your name twice, so I want to say mine twice.
Well, I'm Luke, and so today's topic is superpowers. We're going to be going through a list of superpowers and ranking like the pros and cons of them, and then we'll rank them on like a scale of 1 to 10 or possibly a 1 to 5. And it's just a little fun little episode, not one of real substance.
Speak for yourself. We do debate episodes every once in a while, but this isn't a debate. We're just, like Luke said,
we're just having fun.
Talking about the logistics of superpowers. And the reason why we had this idea was because recently went to FANEXPO New Orleans.
Comic-Con?
Yeah, but I found out there's a difference, actually. If you don't know what FANEXPO is or Comic-Con is, the original title was the Golden State Comic Book Convention because it was originally held in San Diego, California in 1970. Since then, it's exploded in popularity. If anybody's heard of Comic-Con, they've probably heard of San Diego Comic-Con because that is like the biggest one now, where huge companies show like their newest blockbuster trailers, like Disney with Marvel and Star Wars and Indiana Jones, or just like trailers for new video games, just like anything pop culture related is at these huge conventions. And since its rise to popularity in San Diego, it's spread to a bunch of other cities around the country, including New Orleans. And because of the expansion, some of them are run by different companies now, so they're not actually San Diego Comic-Con anymore, but they're called FANEXPO. So I think it's a completely separate company, but it's to allow for a bigger event and like higher profile celebrities. Because that's another major aspect of these cons is that they'll invite celebrities ranging in popularity. You have lots of has-beens like Lou Ferrigno, who played the Hulk, and Henry Winkler, who were very popular in their time but aren't too much anymore, or they're at like every convention. But then you have like rising stars too, which I'll go more into later. So these conventions offer stuff like photo opportunities with the celebrities, autographs, and panels where you can go and listen and talk about their most recent projects or ask some questions. And some of the properties that are featured at these conventions range from Marvel to DC to Star Wars, Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Supernatural, Stranger Things, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, Breaking Bad. And then you also have stuff like movie directors, voice actors, cosplayers, comedians, social media personalities, and the list goes on and on. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And then also major draws is all the pop culture merchandise that's sold there. And people like to cosplay as their favorite characters from these things, and there's even like little costume contests throughout the event. It mostly takes place over a weekend, and you'll have different events every day. I've been ranking for a while. Did you want to jump in and say something? I was gonna talk about our own experiences, but
I don't particularly care about celebrities. I just like seeing the people walk around in costumes and taking pictures with them, and then spending too much money on fan merchandise they have for sale there.
Yeah, I feel like there's two groups of people there. There's people who want to go and like celebrity hunt and get everybody on the roster, and there's also people there that just dress up as their favorite character and go buy merchandise. Where I'm somewhere in between, but you could care less about celebrities. But yeah, so as we said, we just went like last weekend. It was very fun. I've gone for like 7 years in a row. There's always at least one celebrity there that I'd like to take a picture with. This year was actually a pretty stacked cast, in my opinion, like stacked group of celebrities. We had Sam Raimi, who is famous for directing the original Spider-Man trilogy, the Evil Dead franchise, Darkman. Now, I wanted to go there because Multiverse of Madness very quickly became my favorite Marvel film, and he directed that as well. But that wasn't really talked about when he was there because Disney has become so big that it has its own convention called D23 in
Gross.
California. So big Disney projects aren't really talked about at conventions like that anymore. There was also Joseph Quinn, who plays Eddie Munson on Stranger Things, and also he's a Game of Thrones role. I'm sure if you're aware of Stranger Things, you know the absolutely insane culture that developed around Eddie Munson. Like, did you hear about that at least? I know you don't watch the show.
No, not really.
Okay, well, he's a bad example. But okay, well, do you know how, like, there's, like, a group of women out there that are obsessed with Snape from Harry Potter? Like, they developed, like, a cult religion around him?
For Snape?
Yeah. No, okay, do you at least know how, like, every once in a while there's a character that becomes popular? And...
Like the Onceler from the Lorax?
But like, amp it up to 11. Like, it's like a cult of personality around this fictional character. And Eddie Munson became that. The amount of people I saw dressed up as Eddie, the amount of times I saw his face slapped on merchandise was innumerable. I mean, it was crazy.
The Onceler got pretty popular.
Yeah, but you don't see his face on everything there.
Not
And then
anymore.
I had family that was like about to lose their minds that he was coming, and so we had to go take a picture with him. I like Stranger Things, I liked his character, but I wasn't like losing my mind. But I just figured, might as well jump in on the photo.
I only watched the first 2 seasons. I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, the first seasons are a lot more serious. I'll give it that, and then it kind of gets more goofy in tone in 3rd and 4th seasons. I think that might change in the 5th one. I don't know. Who I was most excited for was Giancarlo Esposito. He was there mostly because of his role as Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian, and also Gus Fring in Breaking Bad. I was excited for the latter, and also I just saw his new show Kaleidoscope, which is like this new Netflix gimmick show where you can watch the episodes in any order.
Except White, you gotta watch White last.
It's about a heist, and each episode is like a certain amount of time before or after the heist, and the white episode is the heist, and all the other colors of the rainbow are different episodes, different times. And he's amazing in it. Giancarlo Esposito is amazing in everything that he's in. So yeah, I get to take pictures with those 3 guys, and I will be putting pictures right here, and also right here. And in previous years, there's also been some celebrities I take pictures with, but I'll also list right here. Anthony Mackie, who plays Captain America in Falcon and Winter Soldier. David Tennant, who plays the Doctor in Doctor Who. Jenna Coleman, who plays Clara Oswald in Doctor Who. Sean Gunn, who plays Kraglin in Guardians of the Galaxy. He also does the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon. Did you know that?
Who?
Well, did you know that there's a separate person that does the motion capture and voice acting?
Yeah.
Yeah. The motion capture guy is the director's brother, Sean Gunn, and the voice actor is Bradley Cooper, for those of you who don't know. Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy. Christopher Lloyd, who plays Doc Brown in Back to the Future. Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman in DC Universe. My mom was more a fan of this guy, but Paul Wesley, who plays Tom Avery in The Vampire Diaries. And then I could kick myself, but it was before I was into Marvel at all. I saw Stan Lee, the Stan Lee, there, just walking, like in the open, which is rare for celebrities to do there. Just like walking around the convention floor and not like behind like a curtain in his little booth. I'm so mad. It's so upsetting. Like, cause I got into Marvel and then like a year later,
You died.
To put it bluntly, yeah. And just to hear he passed away, I mean, like, I was in class and it was like the whole school stopped. I don't know about you, but I got news when I was in like media production class, and it was
I think that might have just been your class.
Well, maybe it's just that was the type of crowd because it was like the movie making class, but
True.
I don't know. It's so upsetting. But yeah, and not just the celebrities I was interested in or my family was interested in. There's a pretty stacked cast every year, and I feel like as it grows in popularity, they're only getting more and more notable
There's the voice
celebrities.
actor of Mario there,
Oh yeah, I wanted to put him. What's his name?
Charles
Martinet. Charles Martinet was there.
That's the one.
And Peach, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the Peach voice actress and
For the games, not the movie.
oh yeah, that's Anya Taylor-Joy. That's her voice is Peach.
I also saw the voice actor for Jesse from the Infinity Train series.
Oh, wasn't there? There was like My Hero Academia characters,
Yeah, some voice actors for them.
and there was like the Clone Wars, like whoever voices Kenobi.
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a lot. Like it's not just live action movie celebrities. There's a lot of different types of people there. But yeah, I used to go and was obsessed about getting all the merchandise. Like I have a obnoxious collection of pop figures.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, I've since
You gotta specify.
there's a difference between pop figures and Funko Pops. Okay. Well, I since stopped my addiction. I'm not buying anymore, unless a relative just gets one for like a birthday present or something. I don't buy them anymore. So I just got this T-shirt actually, but do you want to tell me what you got?
No.
You can even insert
Not
pictures if
really.
you'd like to say. Okay.
I mean,
You got like a steampunk like muzzle
yeah.
with like gear. You need to send me a picture so I can put it in here. Like gears and like bullets like on the jawline. It's pretty badass.
I also got that little Mimikyu hat, a pair of D&D dice.
Oh yeah, what was that like 100-sided dice made out of? Was it actually like walrus tusk?
What?
You got like a dice made out of something. This was last year, but what was it made out of? It was made out of like some bone or something. It was weird.
It wasn't walrus tusk. That's just a joke I made on the way there. It was like
Really?
buffalo or something.
Oh, okay. I went as Mr. Knight this year, which you can see right here, but Luke decided not to.
I wore a sweatshirt that was merchandise I bought from my favorite webcomic at the time.
Oh yeah, but I'm just using.
Stag Town.
Yeah, but you weren't like cosplaying. You were just.
No.
Yeah. But Luke did cosplay last year in a cosplay that we helped him build. You can see it right here. Do you want to tell them what you did?
I was Hootie from the Owl House, except like the actual house, not just Hootie. It was way too bulky. I kept on bumping into people. I'm glad Roman's dad helped me make it, but like I'm not wearing that again for Comic-Con.
For a little bit, it helped you like bat away the crowds because it's getting packed in there.
Yeah, no, I am not a patient man. So at some point, I was just standing there, in the middle of the walkway, trying to get past people. I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking slam my way through these people.
And then also, I have a picture of you just in it, but I don't have a picture showing how like you can punch out the head so it looks like his neck coming out of the house.
Yeah.
But he just held it with his arm and held the face at the end of it, which was really funny. And we would never lose you either. We could see you from a mile away.
Yeah. It's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
About Comic-Con specifically?
Yeah.
No.
Alright.
That's about it.
Okay, so all this talk of Comic-Con made us start thinking about superpowers because, you know, originally Comic-Con FANEXPO was a comic book convention, superheroes, who feature many different types of superpowers. And I often think about the logistics of some of these superpowers.
I was just having fun thinking about which superpower I would like and how I would get the most use out of it.
Yeah, we were originally talking about, which one we would want the most. But like, you know, it's superpowers, so it doesn't, like, it's no basis in reality. None of this stuff can really happen. But
Yeah.
if you were to have that superpower, it implies things that would cause issues. you'll see what we mean when we start discussing specific ones. But something like super speed, we're gonna go with that one first. And again, this isn't a debate. We're not saying what's better. We're just gonna like talk about the pros and cons. But my own question is like, say you like, if you can run as fast as the speed of sound or break the sound barrier, or even run faster than the speed of light, like how do you not like just zip off the face of the planet? How does your hair not like rip out? How do you not like lose your clothes? Do you have to have custom clothes that moves with you?
Here's a few things. Number one, it's a common trope whenever somebody has super speed that they require a humongous calorie intake, which just does not seem sustainable for the everyday person. Plus, if they were to use their super speed, they would also need to have like a super fast reaction speed and processing power. But if they have both of those, then everyday life when they're not using their power would essentially be hell on earth whenever, everything seems like slowed down to you.
Yeah, and then like, how different is it really than super strength? Because
I think it's pretty different.
well, like if you're running that fast, your legs need to be incredibly strong. Or like, well, actually, are we talking about super speed in the way that they can do anything fast, or they can just run fast? Like, can they like clean up that whole messy table over there in like a split second, or is it just like running?
What?
Like,
you're not making sense.
No, yes I am. You think of like
can you give some examples?
like the Flash.
He does both.
Okay. So we're talking about super speed in the way that they can do anything fast, not just run fast.
Well, if that's the example you want to go with, sure.
I was asking you. I'd be happy with either. I just need to know that going forward.
Next superpower.
No, I'm just saying like, say, okay, let's just keep it simple and say they can just run fast. That would require incredibly strong legs. So like, what's the difference between that and somebody who has super strength but only in their legs? Could somebody with super strength in their legs run fast? If they tried doing that, would they just bend backwards? Because their bottom half is moving too fast, so their top half should keep up? I think about these things. Why are you looking at this? Is the point of this episode. Okay, fine. We're moving on. We'll leave y'all to decide. Gee, I thought that's what we were here for.
Well, I mean, I thought that's not very,
Pick your next superpower.
Okay, how about clairvoyance? Being able to see into the future?
Yeah, I had that one on my list. This psychic abilities.
Well, you can't just label clair. There's many different psychic abilities.
We'll stick with clairvoyance then. My question is, for somebody who's clairvoyant, would that prove that like the universe is pre-planned? Do you have a destiny? Or like, would it prove the existence of free will or not? Could somebody who's clairvoyant look into the future and say, if you continue doing what you were always going to do, I know that this is going to happen?
Well, I mean, there's multiple different types of clairvoyance. I mean, there are many stories I've read where instead of it shows like a bunch of different possibilities rather than a single dead set timeline.
Okay, but say somebody was gifted with the ability to look into the future and there weren't any alternate timelines.
Well, then yeah, there would be no free will.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
You know, I don't really care about Marvel anymore.
I do not.
I think that's the big premise they're building up to.
It kind of sucked.
Well, no, like in this new phase that they haven't started yet, the whole premise is going to be is everything, like the battle between destiny and fate versus free will. Like, what's real?
It's kind of stupid. That's what they're going with.
Well, yeah, because like King the Conqueror is like
That's boring.
Okay.
Every little time travel thing sort of touches.
There's
that
like
topic.
rings everywhere, and rings is like a circular loop of time, and then that's Kang's thing, is that he wants to actually I don't know. Anyway, next one. I've flight.
Is that with wings or without wings?
I don't care. I just don't know how it's inferior to teleportation. I would
Because
much rather.
teleportation is instant.
Yeah, I don't need to go fly into the sky. It'd be scary. I just need to be somewhere.
I don't know, flight is pretty cool, flying in the air.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just think of how much time you could save if you could teleport anywhere you wanted to go. Time and money. A lot.
But think how cool it would be flying through the air, feeling that wind push against you. You know, like skydivers or wingsuit divers, you don't need to buy a suit, you just have wings.
I mean, I think flight would be cool if you had like wings that you could like make appear and disappear, you know? I don't want to live with wings, but also if I'm flying, I'd like to have wings.
So you want to be like a Superman's flight where he just flies.
No, that looks like somebody in Minecraft creative mode. I don't want to do that. It'd be cool to have wings.
Well,
But I also don't want them on me permanently.
I mean, think about it. If you have permanent wings, that's a whole nother limb you have to learn how to control from scratch.
Yeah, but I think that comes with the superpower, right? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of like, I think his name is Archangel or just Angel from the X-Men. He just gets his wings and then he just like jumps out of a skyscraper and
Is
knows
it
how to fly.
realistic?
Or does he hit the ground? I haven't seen that movie in a little bit. It's like First Class or something, I don't know.
You gotta learn how to use your powers. I mean, whatever.
Also, if you can fly and do it quickly too, like, would you get like altitude sickness? Like if you're going, because like when you're flying in a plane, your ears are still popping and you're ascending at a slower rate.
That is true.
Like you probably get pretty sick. But,
And if for some reason you fall unconscious while flying, unless you're like an albatross, you just fall out of the sky.
an albatross can fly unconscious.
Well, they can lock their wings and sleep on the wind.
That makes me think. I was talking to somebody else about this recently, about how we're looking in the ocean for new life, we're looking in space for alien life, but nobody really thought to look in the sky, like not space, but like in the clouds and in the sky.
That's kind of stupid.
Well, they find like bacteria floating up there, like little microorganisms. So
But
saying,
that's not exactly what we're...
yeah, but they're saying what's preventing like just huge organisms up there that live in the sky and just don't have to land.
Like in Nope?
Yeah, but this is this is based in reality. They're actually scientists are looking for this.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. There's plenty of concept art of other creatures that live in because think about it, like Jupiter is just gas. It's like what might an alien look like on that planet, in that planet?
Dead.
Well, here's concept art. It looks pretty cool. And
They'd be dead.
there's science behind, well, I mean, if they had to breathe oxygen, they would be dead. But there's science behind how they design these things. Did you want to pick another one? Oh wait, can we do teleportation because we started on that one?
Sure.
Okay.
Teleportation.
Well,
Now, teleportation has a couple of problems. There's some where you have to have been there before, or at least have like a clear line of sight to that place. You can't just teleport to some place you've never been to or behind a wall, because you might end up teleported into that wall. And like, what happens whenever you teleport into somebody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even if you know the area you're going to, what's to say there isn't like a car parked there now, or like another person, and you like fuse into some horrible monster?
And can you teleport objects with you? And if so, how big are these objects that you could
Yeah, like, can you
teleport
take your
with
clothes with you? Like, how's that work? Or like, I always think about like I have a permanent retainer on my teeth. Like, that's not me, but that's in there. Like, would it rip out my teeth if I tried leaving?
And I don't know about anybody else, but if I had superpowers, criminal acts would be much easier. I mean, like, there's an old movie, a Jumper, I think, where like these people gain the ability to teleport, and a kid starts robbing banks because of it.
I'm trying to think, is there like, what superhero just has the ability to teleport? I'm blanking.
There's that blue guy from X-Men, but you know, he's blue and also has a tail.
Oh, Nightcrawler, yeah.
Nightcrawler.
And then like, that's one of many abilities that Wanda has.
Is everything goes back to fucking Wanda.
But she has it. What do
Is
you
it-
mean
is
everything
it
goes back to Marvel? We're talking about superpowers. What'd you
Not every
expect?
superpower is from Marvel.
The first superhero I brought up was from DC. What do you want me to do? I'm trying here. I don't even watch DC content.
And what about like people who just create portals? It's not just straight up teleportation. They have to create a portal and then walk through it.
Like Strange.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange.
There's also the one X-Men.
Who?
There's an X-Men that makes like these weird purple portals. And then there's like Kitty Pryde, who runs through another X-Men.
That's not teleportation though. That's impermeability or whatever. Intangibility.
Density manipulation. That's what
Intangibility.
that's what the Vision has.
Intangible.
There's like another superhero that just teleports. Who? I don't know. Is it one of the Eternals?
I don't know.
Can Sprite do that? I don't know. Yeah, you pick one next. What do you want to do next?
Let's do like elemental manipulation. You know, like Avatar. Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I know you weren't interested in The Way of Water,
I'm not.
but
I hope it fails. I hope it does not make the $2 billion it needs to break even.
it certainly will.
I know, but man can hope, can he?
But it's already past its goal. So, anyway, James Cameron said if it passed this amount, he would make 3 more, and it did. So too bad. But what's gonna really make you angry is that the first movie was about the jungle people, the earth people. The second movie was about the water people. And James Cameron says he's going to introduce new fire Na'vi
God fucking damn
that
it.
are called the Ash people.
Are they also blue?
I don't know. I can see them maybe being like albino, or maybe that would be the ground ones, the cave ones.
Ash people.
Yeah.
Seems kind of racist.
Fire was so like destructive in the first 2 movies. Like, they just showed the humans coming down and burning up all of Pandora.
Well, I mean, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, the point of those movies is that humans suck. But, and that we're like tiny little inferior creatures.
Not inferior. We fucking smoked their big ass tree, didn't we?
Yeah, and then at the end of the first movie, the Na'vi take out the humans with bows and arrows, lizards.
Yeah, because we had traitors on our side.
Well, look, here's the worst part. James Cameron trademarked the word Avatar before the Nickelodeon series.
Bull fucking shit.
It's true.
Can't trademark fucking the word Avatar. That's such a fucking common word.
Well, the Fine Bros tried trademarking the word React. You remember that?
Oh God.
They lost, but
Good. People should be able to trademark words. What are they gonna fucking charge us the $5 every time we say Avatar in this fucking video?
Marvel trademarked like superhero or something. Yeah.
So that's fucking stupid.
But like,
I want them dead.
and then like Fox or Warner Brothers, and one of them has like mutant, so Marvel wasn't able to say that for the longest time.
That's stupid.
But-
So fucking stupid.
But now some contracts are dissolving, so you have like people like Miss Marvel and Namor being called mutants. So things are changing.
So, elemental manipulation. Anybody who's watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, that is usually the go-to that when people think of. I mean, and for like water bending in Avatar, there's stuff like they can pull water from the air or plants, or even bend a person's blood, and that's pretty insane shit.
Now I never watched
Moral
the
implications.
Yeah, I never watched The Last Airbender, but there was also like lots of minerals, like iron in your blood. So can earthbenders move it?
No, they can't. Metal bending really wasn't that much of a thing in the show. Well, it was a big part of the show, yes, but it was like discovered by one of the main characters, and she wasn't really manipulating the metal itself, but rather the impurities inside the metal.
Yeah.
So
And also-
she couldn't like bend metal out of a person.
Yeah.
Certain metals she could.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you have like, well, earth bending is really broad.
Well-
That's like so many different things.
Well, there's sand bending, lava bending, metal bending. She can also bend the earth. She can also sense through her feet using like the vibrations of the earth, because she's blind and that's how she sees. And so she can also tell if somebody's telling the truth or not.
Okay.
And then airbending, I don't think they like use that to its full potential in the Avatar show, because like you could like, I don't know, steal a person's breath from their
Yeah,
lungs
take
and
their
kill
breath away.
them.
It's like when you get, like when you're wearing a bulletproof vest and get shot. But it's just like none of like fire bending would be the only one of those where it's like there is a specific thing that you are manipulating.
Or
Whereas
they also have lightning for firebenders, and they could
okay.
regulate the heat
Well-
in their bodies.
Well, still, that's like plasma. So, like, there's a specific thing. Whereas with air, it's like, are you bending the oxygen or everything that makes up the air? So,
Well,
oxygen,
everything.
nitrogen, hydrogen. Okay.
Because it's the air. It's what you breathe.
So would like somebody with admokinesis, like weather manipulation, be somewhere in between? Well, it'd be like three, right? It would be water
Well,
bending, air bending, and fire.
In the show, Aang as a airbender and Qatar as a waterbender did change the shape of the clouds.
Okay. Interesting. And then with water too, even if it's water and
There's
it's
also
not,
ice bending.
yeah, but even if you're bending water, like the general idea and not like H2O, regardless you're gonna like leave some stuff behind. Like if you do it in the ocean, there's just gonna be like salt left behind.
Well, no, it's gonna be floating in the water. They don't have like that fine of control of their elements.
Well, I'm not talking about specifically The Last Airbender. I'm saying just in general. Like if you were an actual waterbender in real life.
Well, then you'd probably have the same constrictions. You can't. It'd be really difficult and require really fine control to separate those minerals from the water.
Yeah, but ultimately, like if you yank salt water out of the ocean, you're not pulling the salt with it. It's not the same as scooping
You're
a
not
bucket.
understanding what I'm saying here. The salt floats in the water. It's like it's floating there when they pull it out. They pull out the water and the salt that was floating in that portion of the water.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay, the next superpower I want to talk about is time manipulation or time travel. Time travel really isn't seen as a superpower, it's more like a machine somebody gets into. But, like, or there's an object that allows them to do it, like Strange has the Eye of Agamotto
Well,
and stuff.
maybe just in Marvel, but there are plenty of other shows I've seen where they can time travel that way.
They're not assisted, they just stand there and the world sort of zooms around them.
Well, one of the characters to time travel, they need to kill themselves. So, does that count?
This-
If it's like a super powerful being that's like pulling them back in time?
I don't know what counts and what doesn't, but like, in reality, scientists say that we would need to figure out teleportation first and then work with that in tandem with time travel for it to work. Because not only is the Earth rotating, not only is the Earth rotating around the sun, but our entire solar system is zooming through outer space at any given moment. So like, you know, say your birthday comes around, you're at the same location in relation to the sun 1 year later, but you are in a completely different point in space.
Well,
Where you are now and where you were born are two, like they're light years away from each other.
well, hold up. Here's the problem. Here, are you physically sending your body back, or are you mentally sending your memories and mind back in time?
Yeah, that's two options you got. So if you're physically going back, then you have to worry about where you're positioned. But if you're sending your consciousness back, that's a different story. Like Wolverine does that in like Days of Future Past. But regardless, there would be another you acting the way they're not supposed to in a future or past time, or there would be you in your old or future body acting how they're not supposed to.
Which brings up paradoxes and
Yeah.
changing the timeline, all that jazz.
Yeah. Like, are you gonna go with the Back to the Future route where history starts getting erased? Are you gonna go with the Marvel route and it just makes a new timeline?
I'll be honest, if I woke up with the ability to time travel, the first thing I would do is create a paradox.
You see, that would be fun until it isn't. But also,
Well,
like,
I mean, probably.
I find the ability to pause time very useful.
Like Life is Strange.
Is that her power?
Well, no, her power is she could turn back time, but she does pause time for a moment.
Pausing time seems very useful to me because you're not necessarily. Well, I guess you could go affect things in the world and that could cause some trouble, but it wouldn't be hard to make a paradox that way.
You could create a lot of crime that way.
Yes, you could.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd probably get too used to it and realize I spent the entire day with on pause, and then I'm like, oh gosh,
Well, yeah,
and then I start aging faster than everybody else.
Well,
in comparison.
no, it all depends on what type of time pausing you have. Whether you pause time and it stops your aging process as well whenever you're paused in time, or you're pausing time but you still age but everybody else around you doesn't, or if you pause time and whenever you unpause it, it swings you forward in aging.
Yeah, and then if your own body, if you can move around in space and think and stuff, but your aging pauses and stuff, does your inner functions pause as well? Could you eat and digest food? How would that work?
What about walking through the air? Because if time is paused, that means so is the air around you. So as you walk through, you're creating this vacuum where you were. Then all this air is gonna slam back in.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, or would all the air around you be frozen in place essentially, and so you'd be stuck in place but just aware that you're in place. You'd be aware that time is paused, but you'd just be stuck like that.
It's kind of a shit power.
Yeah, that's the worst outcome of time manipulation.
Well, I guess if you paused time and then fell asleep, and when you woke up and then you could unpause time, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but it's just like, essentially, in real life, if we ever want to do time travel, and if we weren't just like moving our minds into our past self, we were actually going to the past or the future.
So, would you be willing to kill your past self so your mind can enter their body?
No, I don't want to tamper with
I would be fine with it.
I feel like bad stuff will happen.
I would be fine with it if I was the one doing it or if I was the one being erased. Okay, so I've been reading a lot of like indie stories online for like superheroes, and I was finding certain ones, this certain term popping up a lot, like tinkers or tinker tech, where it's like I'm gonna explain. It's like superheroes where their gimmick is like inventing shit, except on top of inventing, they have like a specific fixation, such as like electromagnets, where all their like tech they build like run on magnets, or maybe their fixation is on like submarines or mech suits. And on top of being like really smart and building these things, sometimes they'll also have a bit of reality manipulation added in. So where their inventions, while they normally wouldn't work, they do now.
So, like Tony Stark.
I suppose if...
Or like,
just essentially inventors in general.
Fantasy dwarves. Like D&D dwarves.
That's more magic. But yeah, sure.
Dwarves like build things. They don't really do magic. Have you been thinking of gnomes?
No,
Maybe
gnomes do magic. So, well, which type of dwarf are you going with? Are you going with Lord of the Rings dwarves or what?
I think, like, in Overwatch, Torbjorn is like
he's not a dwarf,
but that's what
he's a human.
But that's what he's inspired by, because all the other Blizzard games are like high fantasy like that, and the dwarf gimmick is that they're like really skilled inventors and build things. I watched Dimension 20 with Brendan Lee Mulligan, and in every time gnomes and dwarves are brought up, they're very skilled inventors and give the cast really, really great stuff.
Choose your next now.
We started on this, psychic abilities, so not, like, this is more so mind reading, not like future premonition.
Whoa. You can't just put psychic abilities, that's such a wide term.
Then go. Go ahead, start.
Fucking telekinesis is mind abilities, mind readings,
It's not, I didn't put mind abilities, but psychic. Psychic means you can read somebody's mind. That's what a psychic is. It doesn't mean telekinesis.
No. Psychic abilities are simply any fucking power that simply uses the mind. You know what? We have technology. We're not cavemen here. I hit this button.
Yes.
All right. Your computer's weird.
My trackpad is covered in tea.
List of psychic abilities by Wikipedia.
Astral projection, automatic writing, bilocation, energy medicine, ergokinesis,
Levitation, materialization, mediumship, like talking with ghosts and shit, prophecy, psychokinesis, pyrokinesis, basically any...
That's everything. We already talked about pyrokinesis.
Yes, any psychic ability is simply like mind powers.
Okay.
Any power that is related to the mind is technically a psychic ability.
Okay, can we talk about mind reading first, though?
Sure. It's your topic. You
Okay.
pick whichever one you want, as long as you don't get the wrong term.
Well, I think Professor X, first of all, but you know how like when it's like you're walking in front of a big group of people and you're like, okay, walk normal, and then you walk the weirdest you've ever walked in your entire life.
No.
Okay. It's just like when you're in public and sometimes you feel like everybody's looking at you for no reason, or they can definitely hear what I'm thinking.
Not really. No.
I guess I just have anxiety, but I don't know. It's just like I feel like that sometimes. I'll walk into a room and I'm like, why do I feel like these people can hear my every thought? Do I just have a mental illness, or?
No, I think that's
If-
just because you're anxious. What you need to start doing is like cursing these people out in your mind, and if any of them react, then that means they're reading your mind.
Okay. I don't know, like, if I knew there was one person that could read minds on this planet, I would be so paranoid.
I wouldn't. I mean,
Well,
what are they going? They're gonna admit to invading my privacy?
you wouldn't know it. They would just know.
Okay, so what do they want to read my mind whether I'm thinking about blue cheese or something? And like, what if you can't turn off your mind reading abilities and you live in some place like in New York? You're gonna be fucking brain dead because of all this influence of outside mental abilities.
That reminds me of Daredevil, but he doesn't have mind reading abilities.
He has
He kind
increased
of has it.
senses.
Yeah, like
That's not mind reading. That's increased senses.
I know, but I bring it up because when he first gets it and he's trying to deal with this power, it's like, yeah, he lives in New York, he lives in Hell's Kitchen, and it's so loud, and you can hear everybody. They're talking out loud so you can hear them. It's not like he's listening to their inner monologue, but if you also had psychic abilities, it's like, there's also the question, can you, like, pick and choose who you're listening to? Or are you just doomed to listen to everybody's inner monologue? Which that's more of a curse.
And like, Professor X is a bit scary too, because he can like...
You can mind control, right?
He can mind control people, which brings me to this: can he control animals that aren't people? Like a dog has a brain. Can he control a dog? Or what about like a swarm of insects? Could he control them too?
Well, it's kind of like the Force in Star Wars, where
Which
Jedi
is,
can mind control.
Bullshit and doesn't explain anything.
Yeah, but their whole thing is like, to show somebody his power, they say, "Oh, I can't mind control him," but the Force, his mind is too powerful.
Is it just me, or is Star Wars overrated? It's mid. I've watched the movies. It's all mid.
Yeah, you know, that's the conclusion I came to, where I was like, you know what, maybe Star Wars has just always been bad, because I hated the sequel trilogy. Everybody craps all over the prequel trilogy because of Jar Jar Binks and the bad acting of
Well, hello there.
Anakin, and he was actually fine, but Padme and that, and then like, yeah, the original trilogy, it's like you see a stormtrooper like bump his head on the wall.
Well, actually,
like,
I like that. I think that's funny.
well, I'm just saying it shows how like
that.
low budget they were at the time. So it's like,
Well, no, I'm not saying the movie's bad because of low budget. I'm saying it's bad because, well, they just fucking sucked at writing it.
well, yeah, I mean, they rely on space magic a lot to put the story along.
Yeah.
And it's just like, maybe Star Wars was never that good.
I mean, I can't say anything about the cartoons because I've never seen them, but...
If people say the cartoons are the best Star Wars content ever made, I haven't watched it either, but...
Isn't there like that one person who has like a lightsaber umbrella?
Oh, I think that was from the anime.
And that's just stupid.
They have to come up with increasingly stranger lightsabers to wow the audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also telekinesis. It's another mind-based power, like 11 from Stranger Things. And Matilda, right?
Oh yeah, Matilda. I forgot about
Matilda has telekinesis. But yeah, but like my own question is like, in your mind, are you like, how do you know you're controlling every atom of what you're trying, like, because you see some telekinetics, or like 11 who pick up a Coke can to practice, and it's like, okay, the Coke can's
Well,
still on
they're
the
not
desk.
focusing on each individual. They're not focusing on each individual atom of the can. They're just picking it up. Like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
when I pick up my phone, I'm not thinking like counting the atoms. I just pick up the object.
Yeah, but like, say like you have like the Ebony Maw in Infinity War, where they there's a bunch of scenes where they like pick up the pavement and like ground and stuff. It's like, how do they know like what they're picking? Do they just estimate like a handful? Like
Probably.
because like the dirt is like, where does it start and begin? You know, but that's just a stupid logistics question. Oh, there's also empaths like Mantis.
Oh yeah.
We don't mind control.
But it's like feeling emotions and in some case manipulating emotions.
Yeah, like she got on Thanos' head and like made him sad, and so they were almost able to get the Infinity Gauntlet off him. Mantis is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in Marvel. I love her. What I don't like in Marvel are just the characters with guns.
Why not?
It's boring.
Boring.
I'm sorry, but I don't care.
You're a man in a world filled with these like giant, powerful people, and you bring a fucking gun to them and you like fucking kill them with it.
They don't though. Like,
Well,
did you see Bucky trying to take care of Thanos? He was just like, bye.
But I mean, Thanos is kind of a bitch.
They always have to take a back seat.
So you're
look.
not upset about people using guns. You're upset about the guns being ineffective.
Or just like that are just good at like martial arts too. Like
Batman.
Like
What about Batman and Red Hood?
okay. Like
They use
Let me-
Red Hood uses guns. It's pretty effective.
let me say this though. When they're in their own world, like a solo Batman movie, or like just Black Widow, like them alone is fine. Like you can make a very interesting story about that because like they're not having to compete or are shown up alongside like magic users. That just kind of like undermines them.
Well, I think a Batman could fucking just beat the shit out of John Constantine.
I mean, yeah, but that's. Listen, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, Marvel is like branching off now, where there's so many characters that
He
they
makes
have.
a lot of things off of Marvel.
Because it's my superhero knowledge. Is there an issue? But like, they're branching things off now, where like they have like Spider-Man leading the street level crime stuff. Spider-Man has some weird abilities, but ultimately, it's going to be like with the new Black Widow, Yelena. It's going to be with the Punisher and Daredevil, who are basically just punch 'em up kind of superheroes. And sanctioning them off in their own little section of the Marvel Universe, I think works. Instead of trying to, have Kate Bishop shoot an arrow at King the Conqueror. It just doesn't work.
Who the fuck is Kate Bishop?
Hawkeye girl.
Who?
Right here.
Oh, you're gonna put up an image.
Yeah.
On top of like, the manipulating like fire, air, water, earth. There's also more abstract stuff like being able to manipulate gravity or luck, stuff like that. Those seems like some. Help me out here, Roman.
What other superhero do you know that, or villain or whatever, that has luck manipulation? Because
Domino.
who's Domino?
Domino?
Who is that?
From the Deadpool movie? She's an X-Man. X-Man.
What's she look like?
She has that vitiligo thing where like she has like black and white skin tone.
Hold on, everybody. Oh,
Well, at least
but in the movie,
in the movie she.
that's not the
Yeah.
actress. I always saw her carrying around a gun. I thought she was just one of those.
No, she's
Oh, she does have the
luck
gun.
manipulation.
How does that work?
She's fucking lucky. Things always work out in her favor. She can like shoot a fucking bullet off of that crane, it'll pop the tire of the bad guy.
That's efficient. Because the only other option that I knew had that was Wanda. She's the
Can't give everything
She's
to
the
Wanda.
Scarlet. She's the Scarlet Witch. They did give her everything. It's not my problem. She literally is the most powerful Marvel character.
Oh, bullshit.
Kevin Feige himself says that, not me.
You can't trust everything this Kevin guy says.
He's the CEO. He's a robot.
Kevin is only... He's saying whatever the fuck the fans want. The fans are fucking simping over the Scarlet Witch, so they just give her whatever the fuck...
No, everybody's pissed. They don't want her to be. Everybody wants Thor, but Thor controls the weather, that's all he does.
Lightning, he has a hammer, well, axe now. Well, he has a hammer.
Thor has been left in shambles
He can fly.
after Love and Thunder.
What?
I love how you sat through Love and Thunder with me, but you're not gonna watch Avatar: The Way of Water?
No, I don't want to. I hear it's the exact same thing as the first movie.
My opinion of it is. My
well,
opinion,
I don't want to watch it then. I don't give a shit if all that is good about it is the graphics. I want a fucking story. I want a fucking plot.
Look, I'll give you this. I thought VFX could not get any better. Truly, the only thing that was unrealistic to me, or that I thought looked not entirely real, the only reason that made me think that was because of how beautiful it was. Like, they were in a tropical island paradise. Like, I was like, it's too picturesque to be real. Otherwise, it looked completely photorealistic. I mean, I was shocked sometimes. It was insane. But also, my opinion of Thor: Love and Thunder has, like, nosedive. That movie's, like, actually really bad. Like, really bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Because I'm just thinking about Thor Ragnarok
Well,
in comparison.
you complain about me not seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, but you complain about me seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, but not Avatar: Way of Water. How was I supposed to know Thor was gonna be a bad movie?
I don't know.
I should have assumed because it was Marvel, but
It's just The Way of Water was like an event. Like, Thor: Love and Thunder is just the next Marvel movie they cranked out to fit a schedule.
You're learning.
We've been waiting. No, I always know that, but I still like it. Multiverse of Madness was amazing.
I can't stand those fucking cookie cutter Marvel movies.
But I like it when they introduce new concepts and stuff, or show a side of a character we haven't seen before. Like,
well, I don't care. I don't give a shit about the concept. I care about the plot. If the same plot is always fucking
like, Loki and Moon Knight and WandaVision were great because of their concepts.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
especially
something
Loki.
different. I love that.
Yeah.
But like,
And their shows, they're trying out a new format, so it's new and fresh, but the movies are getting kind of stale.
they are. Take the fucking plot of any other Marvel movie and you can apply it to like any other. Like,
But I do like how they're really killing characters off now. I'm not really gonna get any spoilers, but they are.
Iron Man's dead.
Yeah, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm gonna go to my next one.
Go for it.
Which is my last one that I care to talk about, which is shapeshifting. So there like in media, there's like, a sliding scale of how much you can shapeshift. There's ones that can just look like a different person, like Mystique. Can she shapeshift into anything, or is it just another person? She's like a chameleon, really. I don't know. But then, you have Reed Richards that can stretch himself.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh, can he shapeshift? I don't know about Martian Manhunter.
He can turn intangible, and he can shapeshift, and he can fly. Reed Richards, I wouldn't call that. No, I guess that is shapeshifting.
It's borderline. And then
I suppose that Flame On guy is also a type of shapeshifter.
Or would that be pyrokinesis?
Well, no, he turns his body into fire. I mean, that's shapeshifting in my book.
Yeah, but what about like, is there a superhero out there, just somebody that can literally just be anything?
Probably.
That seems like Harry Potter stuff. Like, just transforming yourself. Didn't they like turn into a rock at some point? Or I don't know.
What?
Something like.
Have you seen the Harry Potter?
Amethyst. Amethyst can all the crystal gems. They can turn into whatever. But I remember Amethyst like turned herself into a beach ball. And a helicopter.
Like, I remember the helicopter.
Yeah, and the crystal gems. They can be whatever they want. But like, yeah.
If I had like a super powerful shape shifting where I could turn my hands into like blades or scissors, I'd be like, Luke scissor hands, or like, why would I be a human if I had shape
Why is
shifting?
that the first thing that comes to your mind?
Why would I be a normal human if I had shape shifting? I'm not gonna turn myself into a horse.
I have this note down. I can see lots of people getting addicted to it and just using it to be more attractive.
Why would they? That is a bad use of the power.
Okay, but you have to.
Yeah,
there's stupid people out there that would do that.
I use it to make myself look better, yes, but I would also use it for insane shit like fucking knives for hands. How cool would that be? Like
and also, like in real life, deep fakes are already a huge thing, and like if you were to shapeshift into like a famous celebrity,
multiple arms, Roman,
and make blackmail with it, that's incredibly dangerous.
I could be Spider-Man with arms.
That's gross.
Edward Scissorhands was a fucked up movie. I mean, like,
it's a classic in my family.
Why did his dad choose to give him scissors for hands? He's fucking taking hands away from what's essentially a paraplegic. And like his father was gonna give him normal hands, but he died before he did. If he had the ability to give him normal hands in the beginning, why didn't he just do that? Was it to teach him to be careful? But like, I feel like there's a better way to do that than just fucking giving him scissors for hands,
I don't know. That's Tim Burton. I'm not sure. Oh, also, if you were to shapeshift into a different person, like somebody that...
I could turn into a fucking dragon.
But like, would it replicate like vocal cords too? So would you sound like them?
Well, I mean, it depends on what type of shapeshifting you got, but if you understand the muscle of the vocal cords, I suppose you could do that.
Yeah. Because if you're fully transforming into them, like inside and out, then yeah, you'd probably replicate.
Imagine shapeshifting into somebody with cancer.
Would you be okay when you changed back?
I have no idea.
I don't want to find out.
Well, good thing neither of us can shapeshift.
Okay.
Or have cancer.
You can.
Well, we might one day.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't smoke, so that's one thing that we can cross off the list. That's all the major ones I wanted to talk about that I had like huge logistical questions about. But what do you have else on your list?
I suppose there's invisibility, but that's kind of like a mid-power.
Yeah, I noticed like in like modern day movies when they do invisibility, it's like you're not like entirely invisible. You can kind of see something.
So what is up with like their outfits? How did their outfits turn invisible as well? And then like if they're not wearing an outfit so they will be completely invisible, they're just running around nude fighting crime?
They talk about this with Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four, where she I don't know what it's like a 90s movie, so they're just taking any excuse for Jessica Alba to strip down. But like she like has to take off her clothes in the middle of public while she's invisible or something.
And then she like accidentally drops her invisibility.
I don't know. I forget what happened. But then she's like, oh, I made these suits that work with our powers, and the suits all look identical, but they somehow react differently. Like the thing doesn't wear a shirt. I don't know, but actually in like the 2015 Fantastic Four movie with Miles Teller,
Never saw it.
Their costumes are slightly different. Like you can see that his is like more like Mr. Fantastic is more like spandexy, and then like the Human Torch, it has like grates on it or something. It looks like a ventilators. I don't know. It's weird. So there's a bit of difference there. But then that movie ends with the Thing going, "Hey, we're pretty fantastic," and I want to punch the screen.
God, that was painful just hearing it.
Anyway, did you see MODOK in the new Ant-Man trailer?
Oh, the fucking TV face guy.
I love it so much.
Looks terrible.
He's so goofy. It's amazing. I wish his face was like more nasty, more effed up. It'd be great. Also, do you know? I know you don't keep track of this. That's the. You remember Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man?
Yeah,
That's him.
that's MODOK.
Yeah, it's a different guy. It's not like Tarleton or whatever the guy's name is in the comics.
Wait. Are you saying the actor? They're the same actors, or they're the same characters?
Oh. The way they got him was that he shrunk down into the quantum realm. They just said he died. They didn't know what the quantum realm was at the time. And you see him like at the end of the movie, you see him like shrink down, and like his body like shrinks and like gets all effed up, like before his head. And so they're just using that as an excuse for his body to go all weird and is shaping like that.
Is that how it actually is in the comics, or is that just an excuse they're making?
There's a million different ways that he changes in the comics. It's like a disease, it's brain cancer, it's he got too smart, it's a million different ways he's changed. I love MODOK so much. It's just a stupid character. I want to see him alongside Kang, because Kang is so like menacing. He's a real menace in the trailer, and MODOK is just floating around in his chair. Anyway, is that all we wanted to talk about?
I can't think of any other I want to talk about right now.
Yeah, I feel like this is an episode we could do a follow-up on.
Yeah,
maybe
one day.
Maybe a debate, turn it into a debate and see which one we would
Or we could like
want the most, or
pick a bunch of heroes and we like defend them and who would win in a fight.
oh yeah, those are pretty popular. We could do that.
Yeah. Anyways, gotta give my ending question.
Yes.
Alright, so what is the best superpower for everyday life? Like if you're not gonna be a hero, you're not gonna be a villain, you're just using these powers solely for your benefit and no criminal activity.
My vote is teleportation. What about you?
I don't have one planned.
Maybe we should start giving our own answers to these questions.
Shape-shifting.
I get addicted to that. I know it.
And
It's teleportation.
you
All
like-
the time and money you could save. It
you
would be
could
great.
no, duplication would be best, I believe.
I don't want to see another one of me walking around. That's weird.
You wouldn't want to see it.
This conversation is going to go in a direction. I'm going to stop.